Hi, friends. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday Inspiration. It's Fernanda Torres here with you guys once again. And today we're going to be talking about morning routines and why morning routines are important to create perhaps a spirit of consistency and winning at life in whatever it is that you want to do and accomplish in your life. And we have Dr. Linda Marquez, who is going to be joining us today. And I am super excited to hear what her morning routines look like and see what else I can learn and implement in my own morning routine from what she is already doing. And she is going to be coming live in just a few minutes. Just give me 1 second. We are finishing up some setting up behind the scenes and she will be coming in. Okay. So if you are listening to this video, first of all, let me praise you because you are doing something and you're looking to perhaps improve something in your life and you're finding that maybe a morning routine could be the secret that can take you from where you are to where you want to be. And it may be one of the most important tools that you can implement because the way that you start your day will pretty much dictate the rest of the day for many people. So if you start your day in the right way, then you're going to probably be winning at everything you do. But if you wake up and the first thing you do is stub your toe when you're in your bed and then spill your coffee and then, I don't know, get in traffic, then that may also impact all of your decisions for the day. All right. So let's see if Dr. Linda Marquez is ready to come on air. Dr. Linda, how are you?
Hi, happy Wednesday. I'm doing great. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right. And we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but hey, that's okay. That's life.
That is life.
The reality of life, but we move forward. So
gotta make it work.
Yeah. So how have you been? I haven't been able to chat with you since last week. And I know we have been kind of setting up some of our topics and so forth, but this is definitely one of a lot of the stuff we talk about are my favorites, but I think this is a good one that we're going to talk about today.
And the thing is, a lot of the things that we talk about are just little things that we can implement in every one of our days. So morning routines are certainly one of my favorite topics too. And it's a new topic on my end. A lot of people that know me know that whether or not I'm a believer, actually, first of all, that whether or not you think you have a morning routine or not, you actually do. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because whether it's structured to make you win at life or whether you're just rolling in bed and snoozing your alarm, that's a routine too. So doing on a constant basis, that's a routine. So what we're talking about today is being aware of what that morning routine actually looks like and how else you can maybe change it and tweak it so you can do a little bit more and maximize your days.
Absolutely. So I'm going to see if I can pull up some of I pulled out some notes that I wanted to have that I had here, but let's see if I can pull them up. I've been doing, and like you said, a lot of us, we do have morning routines. We just don't realize that we do have one. And the key is having a morning routine that actually is going to serve you for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. So we all have one, like you said, and I kind of like to look at, is the morning routine one that's at a cause or effect? Just like there's black or white, or when people say, oh, I got to think about it. Okay, that tells me no. When they're like, oh, hey, do you want to go for a walk or do you want to go work out? Oh, let me think about it. To me, it's just like, it's a yes, no. There's no in between. It's like, no, so tell me no, I can't at this moment. Let me look at my schedule. At least that tells me a no. Or if I'm going to say yes, that yes needs to be definitive. Like, yes, let's do it. I'll meet you there. Or no, as of now, but let me go look at my schedule. Otherwise, I mean, it's the same thing, even like you said with the routine. Is it intentional? Is it something that you're doing with intent and waking up? There's this little kind of like a pictograph that has, are you living at cause or effect? Cause is you are creating it. It's just like when someone says, oh, you don't gain weight by accident. That's a cause. You're causing it in your own way of doing it. Or it could also be effect, where it's just like you're just doing whatever. So when I say, hey, what do you got going on tomorrow? And they'll say something like, oh, I don't know, just whatever. Okay, whatever. It's like whatever shows up. I'm like, I don't want to live that way. I don't want whatever to show up like, okay, does that mean I'm going to be in a car accident? Or, you're just letting life kind of move you along. I think kind of the analogy is like, how we talk a lot about using your words as power, using your words to direct your life, or using words to write the book of your life. Well, that's like the power of the tongue. There's something in the Bible that, the tongue is like a two-edged sword. It can praise somebody, but it can rip somebody apart as well. And it's small and it's powerful, and it's kind of like the rudder on a boat. If it turns a little bit too much to the left, you're going to go to the left, or it's going to veer you to the right. Or if it turns a little bit to the other way, it's going to veer you to the opposite direction. So a morning routine is really the same thing. It's just like, are you planning it, and do you have an intention? And I think that's really powerful, because if you don't, then you're just getting up every day with no purpose, no intention, and you're just kind of letting things happen. So I would like to hear a little bit about what is yours like. I'll share mine. So I know we probably have a little bit different morning routines, and they do change as time goes on. My summer routine is very much different than my winter routine. I think we might have lost Fernanda there for a second. So, well, a little bit about our morning routine. There you go. Show is just sharing about the morning routine. Like, we all have a morning routine, whether we believe it or not. Living at cause and effect. The cause is we're creating it, like we're causing things to happen. Whereas effect, it's more life is happening to us and not for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, a lot of the big personal development gurus are very successful people. One, they have morning routines. Two, they really watch what they're saying, and they do visualizations. They have intentions. They have goals.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it does start with the morning routine about living at cause instead of effect.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but it's not really a morning routine. It is, but when that morning routine starts? The night before. The morning routine starts the night before. Mm-hmm. So there's Lewis Howe had wrote like a whole pamphlet on it, little booklet on it. I know Tim Ferriss, and there's you can look up stuff, and people have their own little morning routine. However, you create what works best for you. And the morning routine of it's got to involve. I always believe that has to be different components to a morning routine. Like gratitude is one, having an intention is two, doing something physical for your body is three. So the gratitude, the visualization, and also what are you consuming like first thing in the morning?
So how long do you take or invest in your morning routine every day?
It varies. Like recently, one of the things that I was doing a lot, my first, it's probably about 20 to 30 minutes in the morning. So like right now it's summer, so it's hard for me to go to bed early. I mean, go to bed late and get up late or get up early. And my days all screwed up. But summer, I mean, by 5 o'clock, it's just like the sun is peaking, and the way our where our bedroom is, I don't completely have blackout, blackout curtains or anything. So I'm just like up, and it's that circadian rhythm that's waking me up. So a lot of times, I mean, the first thing is just it's pure gratitude. It's a new morning. Thank you, God, and I assess where my emotions are. How am I feeling? If I'm feeling like sad or anxious, I go back to that vibrational energy chart, the emotional scale. I go back to that and I look at, where am I? And if I'm at the low part, it's like, okay, what do I need to get out of that and get at that higher one? So it's usually the gratitude. I assess my emotion. I usually just get up, and like everyone else, they go get up and go pee. People always say that. I'm like, what's the first thing that you do in the morning? They're like, I pee.
It's
That's
funny,
part of
but
my.
it is. It is.
That's just the biology of it. And then, I usually will sometimes go back to bed, or I go, but I usually have an ice pack. So I grab an ice pack and I put it on my neck, and I have it also on my lower back. That will, and I will either sit up or I'll lie back on my bed, and then I start going through. I start going through the visualization of my day. So those are some of like the non-negotiables, or I do a little bit of meditation. Um, I'm hearing like a clicking. I don't know if you were hearing like a.
Yeah, I hear clicking too. I don't know if it's me. I'm trying to connect from my computer again.
Okay.
It said that it's my cell phone.
Yeah.
It may be my cell phone.
Okay.
I
So,
apologize.
so it's usually that. It's like I said, in the morning, it's my gratitude. I go pee, get back. I like to go back in bed with an ice pack. I usually have I have this water here. So I have this in the morning, next to my bed. So I like to drink that as well. And then I go get some ice and just put it on my neck and my lower back, so I don't fall back to sleep. And then I just take the time to just do a meditation, a visualization, scan my body. Really just like to try to connect with God for a few minutes. And like I said, that could vary. That could be maybe be one day. It could be 3 minutes. And if I feel like I'm falling asleep, I start doing some of the breathing techniques, like some of the block breathing, Wim Hof. And we're going to have a guest in a couple weeks, kind of get into the breathing and the importance of that, of taking or breath of fire, taking a deep breath in, out. So that you're getting the oxygen flowing, and then get some movement. It could be, all right, it's not the exercise, but it's like actual movements. Like, okay, I'm going to do half jacks for like a whole minute so that I'm just waking up. Or some people will do burpees. So that's another thing. And then adding, of course, go brush your teeth. Those are some of the things. And a lot depends on, like I said, my time. Sometimes if I'm in another, like I'm on vacation, if I'm at a seminar and, I'm at a hotel, I do things a little bit different. Sometimes I go and spend some time in California with my folks. So there's certain things that changed, but for the most part, I feel that it's important to have some of those, the gratitude, the water, the movement, the visualization. Those are just so important, because you're starting your day and you get to see. And even if you just scan your day for like a whole minute, that's a good way to start the day. So those are just some. I mean, there's other things like I like to add. If like I like to go for walks in the morning, they're my God time. And I have my God time, and I have my podcast time. I'm learning something, or sometimes it's just pure silence. So the key is just having the intention of, when you get up, that this is going to be a good day. I think that's the key. Do you have one?
So something that I learned, I've had a morning routine now since 2020 started. It's not something, consciously having a morning
Conscious
routine,
one.
going back, right? Consciously having a morning routine since 2020. And that was because I wanted to implement more of myself into my days. I wanted to be more present, and I wanted to have more of an impact in my days, right?
Mhm.
So I started implementing few things that would work out, and then I would, let some of the things out that perhaps I did not see a lot of benefit with, or things that maybe I just did not maybe see myself doing. And I adjust a lot. And that's something that I up to this point, I still adjust my morning routine to see what's going to be most benefit in regards to the time that I get up in the morning. How long do I exercise for? How long do I meditate for? What do I want to meditate on? If I'm not necessarily getting too calm in my meditations, then do I need to set a little bit more time for myself? So all of these things, but I see it more as, like you said, a time for myself, a time that it's not anything rigid in structure, like, oh, I have to meditate for 20 minutes, and then I have to brush my teeth, and then I have to make my coffee. It's more, I want to implement all of these things, but I also want to feel good when I'm doing it and
Mhm.
feel like I'm getting the most benefit.
Mhm.
So that's one thing that I do. The other thing that changed my game, perhaps, in the morning routine, talking about the morning routines, is having a list, like you said, the night before. But
Mhm.
my list, the title of my list is my financial freedom list. So
Mhm.
things that I need to do to get to a financial freedom state, where I literally only have to work because of the goodness of my heart, but never because of financial necessity, right? So
Mhm.
that's kind of like the motivator. What do I need to do to get to that state? And in that list, I do write 7 things that I have to do, and I cannot give myself an excuse no matter what. By the end of the
Mhm.
day, midnight, and the following day, I have to have my list completed, and there is no excuses that are allowed. So aside from morning routine to make sure that I'm feeling good with my meditation and all of these things, I also make myself productive. So I know that I'm doing something, even if it's something small, even if it's visualization, even if it's just affirmations, even if it's
Yeah.
just, meditating on gratitude, something that is going to take me closer to my goal. And that way I know also that I'm walking, and every single day of my life, I'm getting closer to that final goal.
Mhm. So what's an example, like what's on your instead of your to-do list, the financial list?
So I have money affirmations. So
Mhm.
literally just affirmations in regards to how I get value for I get paid for the value, not for the time, and I'm a money magnet and all of these things. And then,
Mhm.
aside from the affirmations, I do visualization. Where do I see myself? And it's not
Mhm.
just in regards to money. It's, where do I see my life? Where do I see my goal?
Yes.
Because ultimately, I believe that if you're living up to your true goodness and your true goal, money just comes, right?
It's a
So where do I
byproduct.
see? Mhm, right, it's a byproduct of the goodness, of the service that you're providing the world. So
Mhm.
if I see myself reaching my top potential, that's going to be a consequence of the service that I'm going to provide. So I don't
Mhm.
see it necessarily only for the financial aspect, but more, how can I make myself accountable so I can reach my goals, and I can make sure that I'm walking in the path of making myself be a better individual every single day. No
Mhm.
excuses.
Yeah. So one thing, I know the benefits of a morning routine is it creates a habit. So the benefits are, one, it creates a habit. Two, you have an intention.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing, the habits and the intention, because we are a product of the daily habits that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the big things that, the purpose of having that. But you should always do something for the mind, the body, and the spirit. The
You know,
mind, I always say, is gratitude.
mm-hmm, I agree. I
Yeah,
was gonna say, Jim Rohn says, either you run your day or your day runs you. So that
exactly.
depends on how well you plan it.
Yeah. And then it was kind of like, well, I think we had lost you for a minute, where I was talking about Your tongue is like, it's the two-edged sword. It's a biblical, there's something in the Bible about the tongue being the two-edged sword, but there's also about the rudder on a boat. As small as it is, it really gives direction to where you're going. So you get to decide and control that. So those are the things. But I always think that there's, one, it's got to start with gratitude. There's times like even in the morning, like this morning was a little bit different. I did gratitude. So are you still hearing that clicking? I still hear a lot of the clicking in the background there.
I do. I hear
Okay,
it.
I'm not sure what that is. So one of the things I think is one, so if we can give two for each one, because it's the mind, the body, and the spirit. Okay, the mind, or I would say the spirit would have to be the gratitude. Would have to be gratitude. Thank you, whomever your higher power is, and then asking for guidance. Those are two, how to show up to be the best version of you for that day. So just gratitude of that. And, that's more the spirit. The mind is to check in with yourself. Where am I right now? How do I feel this morning? It's like, if you're waking up and you're distressed, it's like, okay, assess where you are so that you know that that's not where you want to be. It's just like you get to now choose instead of saying, oh, I just stubbed my foot. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. It's like, no. Check, uncreate that, cancel that out, cancel that comment I just said out, because whatever you speak out, it's going out to the universe. So a lot of the times it's like, what are you saying? It's like, thank you, God. This is going to be one of the best days ever. I always like to say that this is going to be one of the best days ever. So that's another one.
Gratitude at night too. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Every morning for the day that you are going to have.
Mm-hmm.
Plan your day. So you say, this is how my day is going to be, and this is what I'm going to do when I'm doing, whatever it is on my agenda. And then at the end of the day, you give gratitude because of the way the things actually went and what you learned and all the experiences that you have.
Well, one of the cool things about doing a gratitude part of the gratitude journal in the morning is I write in advance what I'm grateful for, what happened in my day. And it usually lines up, but it's when I read it at the end, I'm like, oh my gosh,
pretty spot on.
Almost everything was just spot on with that. So I think that's really important. But so these are like some of the basics. One is just make your bed first thing in the morning. I think that's just like, you have to start setting up the momentum. And if the first thing you do is make your bed, that's a win. That's a checklist for a win. Yeah, that's a win right there. So even if you did just make your bed, that's a win right there. Okay. One, that's how you're starting your day. I don't know about you, but it's really hard for me to work around a messy environment, but it's also hard for me to, like, when we're out of town and then we come home and we've been on the road for 5 hours and we come home, I want the house clean. So I always make sure before we leave, everything's picked up. I want to come in with no dirty dishes. The beds are made. Everything's in its place. So I think just making the bed is a big win. The journaling and the gratitude is another big win. If you can get a workout in the morning, that's huge. Okay, that's huge. If you can't, even if it's just like 2 minutes of just squats or lunges or burpees, that's huge. And the breathing and the meditation, and then just having your intention for the day, those are all winners right there. I mean, that's like that's just the base of it. So my breakfast or not breakfast, my routine changes from spring to in the winter. I love cold showers. Right now we're in Arizona. You can't get a cold shower. I love my cold showers, because it jumpstarts your nervous system. It's like, whoa, it really wakes you up. So a lot of the times, that's usually the first thing I do. I get out of bed, thank you, God. And then I get into the shower and it just wakes me up. And then I'll make the bed and then I'll go sit maybe in the living room and I start going through writing the gratitude. I start going through the visualization of the day. If it's a short routine, it could be done in 20 minutes, make the bed, the cold shower, um, go sit down and meditate, gratitude, set my intention for the day, and get some movement in. So that's pretty easy to do.
And
And
all in
mhm.
all, I know it varies, but just to give an idea, ballpark, how long does it take you to do all of that?
Once again, it just depends on the routine. Sometimes it could be 30 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour. If I'm going to include my walk or workout, it could be an hour and a half. But the key to doing that is you need to get up before everybody else. So that means you get up at 5 in the morning. That means some people get up at a quarter of a 5. There's Sharma's book, The 5 a.m. Club. I don't know if you're familiar with that book.
I've heard of it.
Okay. And it's about getting up at 5 in the morning and starting your day at 5 in the morning. There's a whole club around that. And for a lot of people, it's very difficult. But once you get into that routine, it's like you don't want to miss it. It's just like something you get to do.
So it's one of the things that I talk to some of my patients and people about, and they say, well, I don't have time for all of that. And I think that waking up early, it's the solution. It's the only solution.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you wake up at 9 wanting to meditate and wanting to visualize and wanting to do all of these things while the kids are screaming in your ear and you're hungry and now you have meetings and the phone's ringing and all of these things, it's not going to happen. So waking up early, it's an absolute must.
Yeah.
But not only that, a lot of people would say, well, if I'm going to wake up early, might as well just start getting productive, right? I want to start working because I have so many things to do. I'm so busy. I don't have time for blah, 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 blah. And they may see it as a waste of time, literally just sitting there cross-legged, breathing in and out or whatever. But the way that I see it is the calmer you are and the better you think, the more productive you are, the better decisions you make, the better attitude you carry, the better leadership skills you have and develop, the more aware you are about yourself and your environment. So it's going to provide you at the end of the day that 1 hour or 30 minutes or 40 minutes or 20 minutes of time that you're investing in yourself in the morning are going to give you at the end of the day maybe 2 or 3 hours of time off for yourself because you were that much more productive.
That is a key right there, is that I was looking for my chart. It might be, here it is. When you're up here, things flow so fast. You get so much more done. When you're right here, neutral, lonely, insecure, doubtful, you tend to make decisions and do things like that. So when you have a morning routine, you get here. So it's almost like time and space collapse. It sounds funky and it sounds weird, but it really feels like, oh, I had all this to get done, but now I'm so laser focused that it takes less time to get it done. You're just boom, boom. It's just one thing after. It's just the day just flows. So I think that's the importance of the morning routine.
It is. It really makes your days much more productive and it helps you improve overall your time management and everything.
So kind of going back, let's just go back and kind of summarize this. So, it really starts the night before. Your morning routine has to start the night before. So you have a checklist. I have a checklist at nighttime, like knowing what I'm going to do the following day. So at least when I go to bed, I've put everything aside. Okay, I'm done with this day. It's kind of giving me a closure, but I already have an intention of what I get to do next week. Or the next day. And then just trying to go to bed early. And next week, we're going to talk about, sleep strategies and so forth, because a lot of people have sleep issues. That's why they stay up so late or they can't get up early. But the gratitude, I think, is important. The gratitude first thing in the morning, just thank you. Go take care of your thing, go pee. You might go brush your teeth if you need to do that too. Um, and then I would say, and then making your bed, because that's a win right there. I'm making my bed. Even drinking water, that's a win. That's setting you up for the day on a momentum. And then the mental, the visualization is another win. That's another thing. If you can't go work out in the morning, like if you don't go for your walks, or I like to work out in the morning. If I can't, then it's like, okay, I can do half jacks for a whole minute, and at least it's like getting your blood flow. Or I can run out to the garage, get on the rebounder for a minute, and just jump up and down, so it gets the blood flow going. And then just making sure you have your intention for the day. One thing I do all the time is like I do visualize my day. So I do that. I visualize what I see myself doing. It's like a fast forward, like, okay, it's like I close my eyes, like I'm looking at a movie, and it's like, okay, she's doing this, da 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 da, and I do it in like 100 speed. And then I kind of have like my peace of moment, like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It really does make a difference. And one thing that I found and I learned is that at the beginning, when I was maybe having a little bit more struggles to find things to be grateful for, because I would wake up more days perhaps than not on a negative mood. When I first started, a few, I don't know, years, a couple months ago maybe or more. But one thing is, you can be grateful for anything. Your pillow,
Mm-hmm.
you can be grateful for the tree that is outside. You can be grateful because you have, I don't know, there is a driveway outside that you can, park your car. You can be grateful about the sky. You can be grateful about anything. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
anything major. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to be, I don't know, grateful about anything supernatural. It can be literally the fact that you're breathing right now,
Yeah.
because that's actually the most important. And something else for me is everything that you did, literally everything that you did, that you said, I do in my morning routine. I do the meditation, I do the visualization, I do the
Mm-hmm.
gratefulness, I do the cold showers, I do them all, I do it all as well
Mm-hmm.
in my morning routine. But I also write things down,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah.
check things off as I go. So that list that
Mm-hmm.
I create the night before, as the day goes by, I'm literally like checking things off the list. And every
Mm-hmm.
time you check off things off the list, you have to congratulate yourself. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
feel so good about yourself. Oh, you're such a rock star. You rock so good. You're so
Yeah.
good. You're so successful. Look at you making things happen. Oh
Yeah.
my God, you're rocking your day. Talk to yourself like that. Literally, you're the biggest cheerleader that you
Yeah.
will have. So as you're crossing things off the list, literally just feel it and enjoy it and celebrate it and dance it off, and literally like just be happy for yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
as little or as stupid as it sounds, internally it makes a big
It
difference, right?
does.
It makes you more um, it makes you more confident. It makes you believe in yourself a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think we can finish it up on that, because that definitely makes a big difference. So I'm probably within the next 24, 48 hours, I'll have like a little checklist there for, what are some things that you can do, some sample list, a sample morning routine, whether it's a 10-minute routine, 20 minutes. Some people have like like a 2-hour routine. It's just like everybody's different, and it's going to change. And it doesn't mean that every day you have to do a 2-hour morning routine. Some days it may be a 5-minute, other days maybe a 10-minute, other days it may be an hour. Everybody's different. And as you progress, you will find that, like Dr. Joe, he has like an hour and a half meditation. I was listening to another fellow, and he was a monk. So he does like 2-hour meditation every day. I was like, 2 hours, wow, but that's what works for him. And he's on a different walk in his spirituality. So you got to find what works for you. But like I said, I think the getting the mind right, checking in here, getting the heart and the spirit, and getting the movement of the body. I think those are all pillars that you can start off with.
And you said that everybody's different. That's 100% true. But also, you are different every day in your life, because every day you grew, you learned, you changed. So just because something worked for you, yesterday, doesn't mean that it will work for you for the rest of your life. Be flexible on whatever works for you, and find a path, find something that's going to take you from here to the next step.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, that's something that they can start with. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you all next week, and we'll have that list. And definitely, I know that you'll have a good morning routine to start with. You have one now. Now make the morning routine work for you. All right.
And let us know what works and what doesn't work, and if you have any other suggestions of anything that you're doing that is working for you that we didn't mention today, I would love to hear.
Awesome. All right.
All right.
We'll see you.
Thank you.
Bye.